Good evening, my fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth. It is I am Guy, and we are here doing our stuff like we're supposed to. And that works too. So, alrighty. We are now moving through this particular part of everything. There we go. And let's get to work. Hello! Hey, Patsy. Good to have you on this side, too. Still kind of I'm feeling a little blue tonight. What do you think? Need to fix this light. I fixed this light. And I got this light all fixed up and ready to rock and roll. And then I've set it for just basic operation. I haven't really fixed it for its, for more complex things. So it just comes on and it's blue, which is fine. I like blue. I also feel like it doesn't light me up very well, though. So we shall get some controllers on here and see what we got. We should be under routines. This is on the lights on combination. All right. I do, right? I look a little blue. I feel a little blue. I'm feeling blue. I don't know what my problem is. Need to figure out where my broadcast lights are, though. Take this. I think part of the problem is that we have we've gotten rid of the routine, and that's part of it, I think. That's under your controls. It's on the app. You can go into the. I'll help you in just a second because that's a good question. I'll actually help you guys figure out how to make Alexa respond to the the C word. Right? I need to duplicate this. Copy actions to a new routine. All right. Schedule. There we go. Let's see here. Sunday, Monday, not Friday. Well, maybe, and not Saturday. We'll call this, 9 o'clock. That's when we should probably be doing this thing, Next. I'll rename this Broadcast Lights. At night. All right. Now it's got the option to do 2 events. Oh, yeah. There we go. That works. The bookshelves there. The one I need to figure on is this one because it's set for cyan, and I really need it to be like cool white. It doesn't need to be on that bright, but it needs to be something a little bit more than that, And since it's nighttime, I think we could probably just say, hey, it's nighttime, so we can turn all these other lights like this guy right there and that guy onto blue, which sounds good to me. So that's the southeast. Turn to blues. well. And mainline should also be blue. So what I'm doing right now is setting up all of my routines so the colors change. Printer shell. And since this is the nighttime routine, I'm going to set it up to be blue everywhere but this light, which is going to turn white. And that sounds about right. Right, so printer shell right, we'll turn you to blue as well. The lights are getting a little bit cranky now because I'm noticing that we are. Oh, I accidentally erased one. There we go. Yeah, George, we're doing lights. What do you think? Good? All right. Now, what Patsy is talking about is setting up routines that operate, or setting up commands. So she can say, computer, broadcast lights, and everything changes, which it didn't actually change. But I can say, computer, good night, and all the lights turn off. Then I can say, computer, broadcast lights, and they all come back on. And that's better. Some of them are working correctly, and some of them really aren't. Does make me wonder. Patsy says, hi, George. For better or for worse. Right? Either way, these lights will now turn on like this at 9 o'clock to remind me that it's broadcast lights time. They didn't quite all change to the right color either, which I find kind of interesting. It does make me think they're getting kind of long in the tooth. Yeah. Two should be turning blue, but they're not. That one worked correctly. So, all right. Let's set them all for sky blue. Let's figure out how to make yours work. So on the app for Alexa, you should have communication. Roadside assist. Interesting. I'm clicking through buttons. Right? All right. Hey, I like Bames. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to figure that out while we're talking here. However, I will also set us up for working on the other side here. No? There we go. That's what we wanted. Having problems with that all over the place. Man, look at all these devices. All right. It's definitely under. Oh, really? What kind of voice could we change her as? I'm afraid to find this out. Computer, change your voice.
I have a few voices to choose from. Here's the first one.
There's an official league for rock, paper, scissors. If you want to play sometime, I'm game.
Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Hear another.
Here's the second one. Koalas have fingerprints, and they're very similar to a human's. Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Hear another.
Here's the third one.
The kiwi is the only bird in the world with nostrils on the tip of its beak.
Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Hear another.
Here's the fourth one. I hear there are more chickens in England than there are people. Done. Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Hear another. I'm curious.
Here's the fifth one.
Around 100 billion cups of tea are enjoyed in the UK.
Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Hear another.
Here's the sixth one. Loose, cheeky, loony. These are some of my favorite words with this voice. Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Hear another.
Here's the seventh one. I may not speak all the religious languages yet, but my English is 100% fluent. Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Let's hear another.
Here's the next one.
More than 600 movies are released each year in the world. How is that for variety?
That's the last voice I have. Would you like to choose this one or start over?
Never mind.
We will leave things as they are.
At least that was entertainment. I mean, I may have to change that somewhere along the line, but that's still very funny. Oh. It's kind of cool. I may disagree with this, but we'll see. How you doing, Bames? What's your story? Where you connecting from? Not like your address, just the country and or state and or prefecture, province. Or you could just you're making a midnight snack. Oh, you know what? That's not so bad. I've got somewhere now. Brooklyn. Oh, that's cool. Heading in from Brooklyn. What's our weather like out there? You guys are further north than we are. And further east. Yep, we got Patsy in Arizona, and of course, this broadcast is coming out of Denver. So there's your rundown from us. We're looking at a potential white Christmas, but it's been kind of questionable weather. questionable weather for, for December in Denver. It's been warm. That's where we are too. It hasn't been too cold yet. It's almost, it almost makes you go, oh, wait a minute. What's going on? Get a little nervous there. All right. So usually I'm working on a comic book. I'm amazed that you get snow. You know that? I'm just going to say that now. All right. What we're working on today is what we're calling the cockpit cage, the flight cage. And this is a thing that either sits by itself out in the open or is occupied inside a fighter, like the fighter I'm building here, where I just took the cockpit out of it and kind of hollowed that out. And now we're just going to turn that into just an open area where we'll add the flight cage later to it. But for the moment, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to. Okay, so you're, wow, 6,400 feet above sea level? Probably not 6,400 meters. Yeah. You're almost the same altitude as we are out here in Arvada, in the outer parts of the suburbs of Denver. Because Denver, of course, is at 1 mile high, but it gets higher up here in the highlands. And so we're at 6,100. And so we're about the same altitude, you and I, which is kind of cool in its own way. But it does mean that you'll probably get very similar temperatures and weather patterns as we do. All right. Let's start talking about the control systems on here. We were saying this is us and this is them. It's a very straightforward sort of design. On the left side here we'll have your spacecraft, whatever that is, and your positioning in the world. And likely will look very much like it'll look pretty much, just gonna redline this so I know what I'm doing, kind of give you an idea of what I'm thinking. You have sort of kind of looks more like this. All right. Kind of showing a little bit of what I'm thinking this is a little bit more like. So I was thinking about cockpit controls and how they would really react, and what you really need. So you think about a cockpit of a spacecraft, or in this case, an aircraft, spacecraft, or a variable vehicle of any sort. What you kind of want is some way to, I mean, normally, see you later, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. You're doing these kind of things. I was thinking about this and kind of moving along in my thought process here. There's really only two things you need to know in a spacecraft. You need to know you and what's going on with you, and you need to know what your target is, right? If you're flying an airplane, you need to know where your airplane is in space, and you need to know where the airport is. How far you are from the airport, what's your altitude, things like that, whether you're on target or not. And really, honestly, they would start putting three-dimensional waypoints out there for everybody at some point in time. So, you file a flight plan. Your aircraft is supposed to take off from, let's say, Denver Airport, and let's say it's going to Phoenix Airport, right? Then the aircraft would have a series of 3D waypoints that are at a certain altitude and a certain position on the Earth. And your whole goal would be to keep aiming the nose of your ship towards these 3D waypoints to fly through them. And as long as you do that, then space controllers or air traffic controllers can adjust aircraft around each other, and they can adjust spacecraft around each other by just adjusting the waypoints that are going across the planet. But it also means you don't need to know a whole lot. You don't have to have 75 gauges in the front here. All you need is just your position and how far you are from the ground and where your next waypoint is, And then these three, and actually what you probably have is like tabs, like so, which would say things that are important. Fuel, right? Maybe you'd have throttle. But even this could be, speed. Could be right here. And you could even have things like wind coming down the side or whatever, things like that. I mean, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you don't really need a whole lot to tell. There's not a whole lot you need to say. When you're dealing with what's directly in front of. Right? You wouldn't have to say much. Just kind of giving you an idea of where your waypoints are. but the amount of data that we need to put on these screens isn't going to be a whole lot. And so, and the reason I was thinking about this was, you think about the complexity of cars or the complexity of spacecraft or airplanes or things like that, where you have these really complex, lots of different dials and knobs and things like that. Hey, Ezra. Good to see you here. Good choice in name. I'm doing good tonight. How are you doing? It's a nice, balmy 4 degrees above 0 Celsius here in Mile High City. And so that's where we are. How about you guys? How are you doing out there? Excellent. We're talking about flight controls on a spacecraft. Now, you really don't need a lot of information. Not directly in front of you. So, Patsy, down here we've got LSG. These switch your monitors from local to system to galactic. So if you're in a spacecraft, you set it for local and all of your controls are relative to the ground of the planet. Not right now. No, I'm making a comic book is what I'm doing. The games I typically play, I'm not playing at the moment because I got work to do. I'm trying to hit a deadline. So I'm trying to get these guys out the door a little bit. And I'm building, in my comic, I use 3D models, but I hand draw the 3D models so that I don't need to keep redrawing them and stuff like that. So if I do play games though, the games I tend to play are sim games. So not terribly exciting, but I like them. I'm fond of them. So what we're doing at the moment is working on the maps for that 3D model. And then we're going to be working on this 3D model a little later on. This is a fighter. And I'm still constructing it. We're coming in from Denver, Colorado. So right in the middle of the United States, if you're not from the US. If you're from the US, you probably know where Denver, Colorado is. But yeah. Patsy, who's on here, is coming in from Arizona. So, where are you hailing from? Where are you coming in from? It's a good, nice night outside. Weather's rather nice. You're from the UK. Excellent. Which is great. It means it's, but it's really early for you, isn't it? Because it's like 5:30 in the morning there, isn't it? Yes. You're like, it's really early. It's very, very early. What's the weather like over there in the UK? It's cold here, but it's not that cold. We're only at about 4 Celsius. So, but yeah, it's nice. Weather's been clear today, relatively clear. It's been a little overcast, a little cloudy, but looks like we're rolling in for a white Christmas, though. Looks like the next storm rolls in on Christmas Eve, so that'll be a thing. So it's cold. It's fair. 10:36 in the evening. So we're about halfway through my night broadcast. I broadcast twice a day at the same time, 9 to 11 a.m. and p.m. Although tomorrow morning I won't be because I'm doing my. It is a big difference. It's nighttime. If I turn off all of my lights, it is really dark in here. I say, computer, good night, and then I vanish because like it is really, it's dark outside. But then I can say, computer, broadcast lights. So I stream every night, so it'd be every morning at your time. But I'd start streaming at about 4 a.m. your time. But I also stream from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. your time when I don't have things to do. Like this week is kind of a weird week. Tomorrow I've got to do college orientation because I'm going back to college. And then for the remainder of the week, I actually work. I'm a driving instructor during the day. So I go and teach people how to drive, which is kind of a useful skill. Just saying. But there you go. Yeah, I'm a part-time artist. I've already released a couple of comics, and I will click on the appropriate buttons here because we have buttons for these things. But yeah, I've already got a comic that I've been releasing, and it's also available out on globalcomics.com. So that's a thing. And then most of the time I am a driving instructor. Oh, thank you, Patsy. It's very sweet of you to say. I also am a driving instructor, and I teach the 30-hour driver's ed course. I also do the behind the wheel stuff and ride with them, but not as often. So, and I'm going back to college to learn about cultures. I'm going to become a cultural anthropologist. So, you're an artist too. So the whole point of this stream is so that we can keep each other working. Like, because I'm a neurodivergent, and if I don't, it's called body doubling, and it's a thing where you sit down with someone else and both of you get work done. You don't need them to tell you what to do or anything like that, but you just kind of feel like you should, you know? See you later, Patsy. Patsy's not on daylight savings time, so it's markedly later there for her. Good night, Patsy. You're into digital art. Ooh. Do you have Rebel? The newest Rebel? That's pretty fun. I've been meaning to demo Rebel. Maybe that's what I'll spend the rest of the evening doing. You can. There's a Discord server that we've got once I spin it up. Oh, we could update. Hang on. There we go. Oh, for goodness sakes. Get down there to my server. I don't know why my server is at the very, very bottom, but it is. Yep, working on that right now. Discord in the chat. Here we go. There we go. That's the Discord server. And say hi to you when you get here. Frenzy's here. That's not who this is, though. There we go. That should bring you to that Discord server. Ezra's here. There you go. Good job. Yeah, made it to the duck pond. Welcome to the duck pond, Ezra. Nope. There we go. Oh, I forgot how that. Might fit better right there. No, I'm kind of doing the. We're not going to really put much more of this in here, I don't think. Might be too small. I don't want to waste any space with it, of course. I don't know how in the world to possibly get, I mean, you can put a link in here, I guess. Can you put a link in the Discord server? Usually people put pictures and stuff that they're working on right now and stuff like that. So real quickly though, just so you know, I don't generally friend anybody from my professional account. And I very rarely friend people from my personal account. And it's nothing personal. I'm just a Gen Xer, and Discord's still a little bit weird for me and still don't quite have all of it under control. And would really not want to have to lose my Discord account because I clicked on the wrong thing, since we use it to play my D&D game, you see. That's very important. D&D is important. So. Sadly, Ezra, I am not 100% sure. You're already in here. I've reacted to you in the duck pond. You should be able to just post pictures in there. In theory. In theory. And these are all the pieces that are just black. sometimes there's an islands thing, pack islands. That's very strange. Oh, you should just post out here. It shouldn't be send me things. You don't want to send me something direct anyway. It should be just you can post pictures in here. You should be able to post just pictures, yeah. Upload a file. Yeah. Double click the plus. Unless you have something else that you're working on here. If this is an attempt to if this is like you're trying to do the, you want me to buy your services, that's not going to work so well because I'm poor. So you don't want me to buy your services anyway. See, I didn't want to do that. I don't think that's what I wanted to do. But I feel like they weren't. I feel like that didn't work that well either. The whole people randomly asking if I want somebody to graphic design my website thing seems to be very common, which makes me wonder, is that an effective way of getting work? I think most of us are just artists and we're pretty poor. I know I'm certainly an artist and pretty poor. I'm not an artist and a student, as if I couldn't add any more pretty poor things to me. Also, I'm an artist and a student and a dad with a kid, and I'm a single dad too. So I mean, I'm just like chalking up all the possible things that I could make me even poorer. Well, I wonder if I can do anything else to be poor. Like I'm asking for it. So I'm just like, I'm wondering. I've been hearing this every so often. We get a few people on here who like, hey, can I show you my portfolio and will you hire me to redo all the artwork on your site? And I'm like, I don't need to have my artwork redone. And how often does this happen? It's like, I mean, I figure that's a pretty genuine request. Can't think of any way that it'd be particularly bad for you. It's not like it's somebody to take over your account or something. Well, I guess you would have to take over somebody. That could be possible. I have to give you permission to take over the account. Never really thought of it that way, but that makes some sense. I don't think that's what anybody really is trying to do, but hey, who knows? 'Tis the modern era. All kinds of people are doing all kinds of things. It does make me wonder, though. We're running out of time, folks. Running out of time. Well, I hope you're doing okay out there, Ezra. Oh, man. going to take a quick pot shot at this and see if I can't get this to do what it needs to do. Give this a shot. I doubt it'll work because it's the first try. And every time I try to do these things, it never works like I want it to, but I'll give it a shot for the end of this particular green. If nothing else, we can see what the flight cage looks like inside one of these guys. Because the ground came with it. All right, that didn't work right off the bat. I can tell one of the things didn't work. So we're going to go back in here. I'm going to take the ground out. And then we'll say save as, cancel, export. So wavefront. Again, make sure my setups are set up correctly. Export it. It's going to overwrite it. I'm going here. And let's say import. I have one thing to import. Let's see what it does. There we go. Because I am curious as to whether this cockpit shell will work. Nope. Well, now I feel like we've kind of done what we can do. Not 100% sure the cage fits like it's supposed to. Getting the cage to fit in there properly seems like it's going to be more complicated than I thought it was going to be. It's going to be fine for looks like it's going to be fine to do whenever we're dealing with well, no, that doesn't look so bad. That's inside. Definitely, I feel like probably I should adjust the cage appropriately. Yep, so looks like the cage can fit in there just fine. And I just need to adjust this forward bulk piece to come up a little further, and that'll be fine. Which is fine. We've got to figure out how to do the controls and all the instructional things anyway. So all right, guys, I think I'm out. I think that's all we've got for today. I'm not on again tomorrow. I'm not on until the evening show, because tomorrow morning I've got to do all kinds of stuff. In the evening show, we've got to prep for school because I'm going back into class. So the classroom, I'll be in the classroom then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we're doing a full run then, and that'll be great. And then we'll do a full run for Wheat Ridge, and that'll also be good. And then we'll be out of here. And we start school, start 2024. I'll be broadcasting again, but in the meantime, I'm out. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. It's good to have you here. And some popping in from all over the globe tonight, so that's kind of cool, with the Bronx and the UK, which is kind of neat. So, but I will talk to you all later. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Good night.